Hello everyone. I'm very happy to interact with you all today. I am Indrani Sengupta and I come from a system specialization with 2 decades of teaching experience. Today what I want to talk about is a topic which is affecting all domains of our life, that is data, technology, and how it is affecting the future of our careers. Today, technology is not just restricted to a career of an engineer. Technology is involved in every aspects of our job, like from HR to operations to marketing to teaching, non-teaching, everywhere we are using technology. So systems and technology has become a means of a support system, which is like the heartbeat of working of any other job or job profile that you start your career with. You know what I think? I think that data, which is a very small word, has a lot of potential and has a lot of capabilities, so much so that I like to call it that data is the new oil. Why do I say that data is the new oil? Mainly because we dig into the oil rig and pull out the crude oil, refine it, and then use it for various purposes. Similarly, data is also an endless pit. I can jump into the data pool, pull out a data, say for a student data, I may need the student's name, roll number, specialization, address, the blood group, and then I want to analyze how many students in my class are from a particular background, or how many students in my class are having a particular blood group. So what I'm doing, I'm collecting some data, then sorting it out or refining it to find out an information that is relevant to my work. Isn't this what we do with data? And all the time use it for something that is for our purpose. That's exactly what we do with oil also, right? That we dig out the crude oil and we refine it to use for something for a particular job or a particular purpose. So that's why I always use this analogy in my class, that data is the new oil. You can extract your data and use it in an operations job. You can extract the data, use it in a marketing job. You can extract the data and use it in an HR job. The title or the role of that data may differ from function to function. But the crux of the matter here is that when you come and start your MBA program at Chetana's Institute of Management and Research, we make you capable so that it builds up a future-ready manager who can use these skills of system and technology to understand the business, to design a framework, to take decisions which are tech-enabled, and plan the future accordingly. Do some predictive analysis on the studies that you have done in your postgraduate program. Say, for example, if you study a basic course when you start your program, which is data, information, and technology for managers, you will encounter various aspects when you become a manager. You may have to deal with an Excel sheet to understand how your data is behaving. Once you understand how your data is behaving, then you want to project it and show it to your client. So once you understand what is in your Excel sheet, you have to design a nice, powerful PowerPoint presentation. Once your client is happy with your presentation, you submit a proposal. So we start from the fact that we help you to analyze your data using the dashboards and the technical details of an Excel sheet to present a user interactive PowerPoint presentation, and finally submitting a proposal report to your client. So this comes as a package and a holistic capsule which tells you how you can understand your data, present your data, and submit your data. So this is a very preliminary course that we do in the beginning so that everybody gets an exposure that how you can use your data and how you can present your data. Now from there you move on to your higher semesters where you start showing an inclination what you want to study. You may want to study, for example, say HR, or you may want to study marketing. Whichever domain you choose, data still follows you and is following you every bit, because you want to use data for different purpose depending upon your job role, but the fact that you will use a tech to understand that data. Like say if I'm doing my specialization in operations, what is operations? Then it's a cycle that say I have purchased an item and the item order is initiated and it goes through various steps and finally gets delivered. Now, in this entire chain, which we call it in a technical term as a supply chain management, there can be two methods to do it. If we go back, fast forward, go behind and see, 5 years ago, maybe we were doing it when you were initiating an order on a paper, and then that paper was been submitted somewhere. The order was raised, and then the tender was passed, then the order was processed and finally shipped, and finally a tracking ID comes to you and you can track it. Now, I can use tech and automate the entire thing. And from the time the order is initiated, you have a ticket, and that ticket can tell you from which ledger to which ledger that your packet is moving at what point of time. It can be across borders, it can be across continents, it can be anywhere in the world. My processing speeds is faster. Use of paper is reduced to a substantial level. So what job you are doing is making the person more efficient. He can do 10x of the time of the job in that same time. So that means work efficiency improves. You're reducing on paper, so you're going good on the environment, and you can track everything. So the manager doesn't need to run from desk to desk to understand what is going on. Who is helping us? It's technology which is helping us. Cut to, let's come to a different specialization. I want to become an HR manager. So I get hundreds of CVs every day for a job that I'm hiring. Well, what do? Do we sit down and manually scan through every CV to understand if it is a fit role or not? No, I can design a program where I can use AI and I can design a bot. And I can put in my keywords, like I am hiring a manager for, say, who will be doing a B2B sales for a corporate. Okay, so you punch in the keywords like business to business, sales experience, from the industry, say FMCG, from the industry, say banking, whichever industry you're looking at, and train your bot in such a way that he extracts those keywords from a particular CV and discards the CV which are not fit for us. Manual labor reduced, efficiency improves, and you have a system in place which can analyze that, okay, out of the 100 CVs, 5 were best fit, 20 were kind of okay but not that good, and rest of them were not matching at all. So your analysis is also good, that the data that you're capturing, how much is of your use and how much is not of your use. The junk can be discarded straight to your recycle bin of your laptop, and you don't need to go and put it, discard it, shred it off in using a shredder. So system in whichever domain we pick up is actually improving our work efficiency and making it easier for us to keep track on what's going on. How was my behavior in the last year? How is my company behaving the current year? Based on that, we can do some skills which tell us how to predict the market in the future. So we have in our program, we make you ready to understand the market scenario at the present, analyze the past. Using these two things, we also help you to predict what is the future for the market ahead. So it's a whole capsule in itself where we make each domain of students, irrespective and regardless of the specialization you choose, using tech to make it more efficient and more time-enabled, industry-ready program where you can upskill yourself to today's market and the needs of the job which is required in the industry. So you as a budding aspirant must be thinking that which role do I land up, or where do I see myself 2 years down the line? So if I have to give you a brief idea that how can systems help you in building and engaging your career, there are students who have got roles like analysts in various companies, could be in the banking industry, in operations industry, where you analyze the data, predict the data. There are students in the past who have gone to FMCG company to understand the supply chain and see where are the bottlenecks, how can we rectify that, what design can we reframe so that these bottlenecks can be handled. Then design thinking is also a very growing domain these days, where students are going and doing the one step back, where they are trying to understand what is the user experience and how can we improve the user experience so that the footfall on that particular company's website or product catalog can be more, and that can help them design and get the sales increase to a higher level or a next level, whatever is the target of that company. So analysts, uh, design thinking experts like user experience designers, digital marketers who can predict the market, how to catch hold of the right client and how to pitch in for the right market in the digital era. These are some very evident roles that you end up getting into when you finish an MBA program, especially when you are trained at CIMR. That's about from me, and I hope to see you soon in the class so that I can take the data from you and convert into an information and get it back to you and be future ready. Thank you so much.